The Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to jamieappsmedia.com. Welcome to the Commentary Booth, the ultimate weekly entertainment recap and review show. My name is Jamie Apps, and each week I'll be joined by a rotating cast of co-hosts to run you through the entertainment media we've consumed during the week. Along the way, we'll provide you with some insightful commentary and reviews. This week, I'm joined by a freelance social commentator who lists his favourite movies as American Psycho and favourite TV show as Peaky Blinders. Welcome to the show, Blake Robinson.
Hey man, what is the good word?
Not too much. Staying inside still. How about yourself?
No, I've actually been getting out and about a bit. I'm still working, so my life hasn't really changed too much. Luckily, I guess. I never thought I'd say I'd be lucky to working.
Yeah. Getting abused by baristas at the cafe, I see.
Yeah, I am actually. So the local cafe Crossroads from the hospital opens up at 2 a.m. every morning. I work night shift, so... yeah, I get to go over there in the morning. It keeps me busy, keeps me occupied.
Yeah, I saw she didn't take the joke about getting a takeaway too well.
Oh, that one, yeah. What happened there? She asked if... I can't even remember now. Anyway.
Yes, something like, she asked if you wanted a takeaway and you're like, oh, yeah, I'll have a takeaway, and she just did not take that well.
Yeah, well, it's like the obvious thing, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit silly. So what have you been getting up to when you've just been at home?
Man, drinking heaps of wine, actually, which is nothing new for me. But, just drinking wine, watching a heap of movies and just old stuff that I haven't seen in a while. I'm just catching up on and, just been smashing Netflix, hey, like everything that pops up.
Yeah, thank God for Netflix at this time.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about branching out to a bit of Stan and Amazon Prime, but I'm not too sure what the go is. I don't want to get too involved in too much. It'll just completely consume me.
Yeah, we've got Stan at my place, and I really only use it for Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I've seen they've got a heap of old TV shows that I like that, like the others don't have, so I might just get it for that, but... I know every time I search for a movie on Netflix that I want to watch, they don't have it. So it's frustrating. Yeah. But then it's good for like the originals side of things and documentaries that you can't not have Netflix.
Speaking of the originals, last night they dropped Last Dance, the Michael Jordan.
Yeah, man, far out. It's broke the internet, hasn't it? It's literally everything I've seen online is just everyone I follow, just everyone's watching it. It was very good though, hey. I was like, yeah, blown away. I'm not like a massive Jordan fan, but I'm just a huge basketball fan. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. Going into it, I really thought they might tarnish his reputation as like give him a bit of a bad guy image, but so far so good.
Yeah, I think he sort of got out in front of that too, saying, "Oh, people are going to think I'm a really..."
Yeah, but at the same time, the footage has been in a vault for 20 years, and he's finally approved it. So he's obviously not going to approve it. Like him being a perfectionist he is, he's not going to approve footage that's going to tarnish his reputation, is he? So it can't be that
exactly.
bad.
And
it's probably only going to improve him, really.
That's just the competitive nature of sport too. Like the people at the top, they want to win all the time. So
yeah, well, that's exactly right. I think a little bit of conspiracy going around. I've seen just because of the Jordan and LeBron debate at the moment, everyone's saying, well, LeBron's the GOAT, and everyone's saying he's releasing this footage now just to silence everyone a bit. So he's always going to get out on top, isn't he?
Yeah, as soon as you just go, look how many rings I've got, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you win.
But, an interesting part of it that when he put like 60, how much did he put on that Celtics team in the playoffs? Like 63 points or whatever? But everyone's saying, oh, LeBron wouldn't do that these days. But look at the competition back then, mate. They were all like 7 foot tall white guys, and they weren't athletic at all. I'm pretty sure LeBron would run a train through those guys. He'd put 100 up on that team.
Yeah, exactly. He just used his youth and speed.
I think Jordan was just ahead of his time as far as athleticism goes back then. Like no one had seen anything like it on the court. Like he really started that new era of just athletes.
Some of the dunks and stuff that were in the highlights.
Yeah, people weren't even trying that, like in a game. Like maybe in a shoot around, you'd play around, but he's just doing that in a game, just disrespecting defense.
Yeah, the one where he hit his head on the backboard, I was like, whoa.
pretty wild, man. But I've grown up on Kobe and like LeBron, so I've only watched the highlights that everyone else has seen of Jordan. I haven't really seen too much, so this was educational for me. But he was definitely a freak and ahead of his time.
I just couldn't believe how many highlights and how much footage there was that people sort of hadn't
It's incredible,
seen.
Hey.
And that's only
those
two
episodes. I've already I'm just nearly sold on it.
I'm surprised it lived up to the hype too. I was a little bit worried that it was.
That was another thing. Yeah,
short.
A lot of people said that. But then again, back onto the debate though, he's not going to release his footage if it's going to make him look shit.
Funny thing I noticed was Barack Obama credited as former Chicago resident.
I lost it when I seen that. Hey. The disrespect, but then
bit rude.
Then what happened with Bill Clinton popped up and they said former governor of Arkansas. So
yeah, at least he got credited with some sort of political
former Chicago resident. That's pretty good though. That's a bit of a flex by the producers for sure.
Yeah,
but he's a Chicago boy. He loves his basketball. Yeah, I think he used to play college too, potentially. I think back in the day. I know he was a gun in high school. I've seen a few Obama highlights, but he loves his basketball. Yeah, pretty good rap. Pretty good rap to have Obama talking about him.
Yeah, huge. I wonder if they've ever got on the court for a private one-on-one.
And I would kill to see that. Oh, you never know. Maybe that Obama interview is a bit of a tease to what's to come in later episodes.
Imagine. It will be interesting to see where the next 4 episodes go.
I've seen a bit of a trailer for the next episode last night after they released these 2. It's got a bit more Rodman in it, which would be good. He's a character and a half, so I hope it does feature a bit more because that second episode sort of focused on Scottie Pippen a little bit, didn't it? So I'm hoping it runs through the team a bit. Like Steve Kerr's got an incredible story himself too. So yeah, I hope it goes through the team a bit and sort of finishes up on what Jordan has to say at the end.
What do you think of the 2 episode at a time?
Normally, it's probably all right when everyone's working. They can probably come home and just watch an episode or 2. But at the moment, when everyone's got nothing else to do, I think I've seen a lot of NBA players tweeting they just wanted the whole 10 episodes to punch out there and then. I was the same though. I love binging on a show. If a show comes out, I'll normally wait till it's all out, then I'll just watch it all at once. But it'll keep us on our toes, and Monday will be enjoyable again.
Yeah, definitely give you sort of appointment viewing every Monday.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty keen for it. Then I'll be sad at the end of it. At the end of the 5 weeks, just have to watch it again, I guess.
Yeah. Even last night I was like, I could have watched the whole lot, but now looking at it, I'm like, that's not. Yeah,
you don't want to overdo it. Just digest the 2 at a time and go from there. And it keeps you hungry. But this is going to be huge numbers wise. How many people tuned? I think 6 million people tuned in yesterday. I seen something ridiculous. I don't know much stats wise about stuff, but in this field, but yeah, that's got to be big.
Was that just the US live ESPN stats?
Would have been, eh?
Yeah, that's wild.
I wouldn't mind seeing some Netflix. Is it only on Netflix in Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, then they got it.
Which was a little bit weird. I don't know why ESPN didn't.
Yeah, I don't have
the live broadcast.
I don't have ESPN, but so it wasn't broadcast live here either, was it?
No, it was just purely Netflix at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, but do you reckon this is all come out of they've timed it to come out now, so it's going to be big, bigger than what it should have been, or is this because I think I read in 2016 is when he finally approved the footage after the Warriors broke the single season record when they went 73-9. I think that's when he's pricked up a bit and he's like, yeah, right then, let's some show them what we had.
Yeah, I know they did bring it forward so that it did go with all this social distancing stuff.
Oh yeah, because I did read something about that.
It wasn't meant to come out for another 2 or 3 weeks. So.
Yeah, it's keeping everyone ticking over. I think the NBA's, I think they're doing all they can. It's good that they did the 2K competition with the players playing NBA 2K. Then they did that little horse comp. So they're trying to do something. Yeah,
it's good to see sports trying to stay alive.
This esports is taking off too. The E-Series for V8 supercars and F1. That's huge, man. So that's pretty good. It's almost going to be disappointing when the seasons start back up because there'll be no more E-Series. Yeah,
and even on the darts, they're doing play at home. So they're having 2 players just set up a streaming camera on their own home boards and doing a comp that way.
Everyone's quickly adjusted, which is good, but I wouldn't want it to go on any longer, to be honest with you. Because this was meant to be like a few days into the playoffs of the NBA. It was meant to start last week, which is a bit sad. But they're still hopefully
bring back the Premier League.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh no, keep it how it is.
Liverpool
we don't
not
want
win.
that.
What else have you been checking out?
Oh man, I watched. I don't know if you've seen it. The Platform. It was a Netflix original.
The weekend.
I think it was originally done in Spanish, but they got it dubbed in English on Netflix. It was pretty interesting, eh? So I'm more of a dub person than subtitles. I can't concentrate on subtitles. I'll just lose focus on what's happening in the movie. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I like stuff like that. I like my scary stuff. Yeah,
it was really it really made you think too. It wasn't just we're going to scare people.
Yeah, it sort of wasn't scary because all trailers make it look out like it's dramatic, but it took a bit of a different turn than what I thought. And then I don't want to spoil it, but the end was a bit different than I was expecting. I was almost disappointed, but at the same time, I think that was like the moral of the whole story. Like it was just ironic that I was disappointed at the end of it. Just made up for what the whole movie was about. Just greed.
Yeah.
Left me wanting more. And I think that was the whole point of it. The whole movie was about greed. So at the end.
Yeah. And it's one of those endings where it happens and you're kind of like, oh, that was a bit of a dud.
Yeah, because people...
A couple of hours later, you realise,
because people asked me if I should watch it. And I was sort of like, I probably wouldn't bother, eh? I could have happily went on with my life without watching it. But then, as the days went on, I was sort of read into it a bit more. I was like, that actually was a really good movie. So, I do recommend watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely for a certain crowd.
I wouldn't just watch it if you...
just the general movie-watching public probably are going to not be movies fans.
It was a good day. But I also read a few people on a forum that they watched it like with subtitles and it was like heaps better. Like, because I think with English dubbed over the top, it sort of makes it look a bit tacky a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's a bit off.
So sort of takes the edge off it. But people watched it in subtitles and they said it was incredible.
Yeah, I'm a bit like you with subtitles. Sometimes I can deal with it. Other times I find I'm reading the subtitles.
Yeah, man, I'm too busy keeping track and processing what I'm reading and I'm just not watching what's happening on screen.
Yeah, and that's definitely a movie where you sort of need to see the subtleties of the performance and what's happening.
Sure. It's very visual.
Yeah, also on Netflix I checked out Dave Chappelle's new sort of special / awards.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect there. It was pretty cool, but he's definitely the GOAT as far as comedy goes. I'm not massive into comedy, but I definitely love his stuff. He's just a machine, eh?
Again, another person way ahead of his time.
Yeah, he's in one of them Jordan and Ali debates, eh? For comedy.
Yeah, and it was a strange one too.
Yeah, I never really watched.
Originally, I thought it was going to be like just a regular stand-up special, and then I watched it. I was like, oh, wait, it's more of a documentary and career retrospective.
Yeah, it's cool how it flashed back. It was like a massive shout-out to him, mate. Like, everyone was getting around him. But his most few recent Netflix specials is incredible, hey? I think that was when he first came back on the scene, hey, since the Chappelle Show, wasn't it? I don't know too much history about it, like when he stopped the Chappelle Show, but they were pretty much the first things he did, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had that
huge
hiatus. And then I think he came back, did a few like small unannounced shows and then came back and did those two specials. Yeah,
imagine being in like a small venue like the Comedy Store in LA and he's just there unannounced, because they do that a lot. They just have acts there unannounced. And imagine rocking up and you just seeing Chappelle. Like my friend was over there once and he just went there for the night and Joe Rogan just jumped up and did a few things. So that'd be pretty cool, though.
Yeah, and I've heard Chappelle's one of those people that when he does show up too, it's not like I'm just doing 40 minutes. He's there for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Like, back on the Jordan debate, he's just a perfectionist. He's not going to have someone say a bad word about him.
And just have that much comedy chops and material to be like, I'm going to just stand here and tell jokes and stories for the next 4 hours.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they remember everything. Every time I watch like a stand-up, I'm like, how the hell are you remembering all this? Like they don't even stumble either. Like they just rattle it out.
His too, because they're so thought. Like he has so much thought and meaning behind every story and joke.
For sure. But
he doesn't just ramble on about crazy things.
It's almost straight from the heart. He's geez, I love his. He offends a lot of people as he keeps going on about, but his trans jokes are just too good, eh? Like they just hate him. But you can't get offended. It's comedy.
Exactly. It's like he says in this special, it's comedy. Like, this is the one time I'm allowed to be offensive, and you just got to deal with it.
Like, it's good too because he's got an Asian wife, and he always has the Asian jokes and drops her in it. It's pretty funny stuff.
And the little set that he did after the award ceremony when he was just taking shots at the mayor.
Was it what mayor was that?
The mayor of Washington.
Yeah, it was in Washington at the Kennedy Center. Yeah.
Yep. I loved where he's just like, "Yep, just try some crack. You can have a go."
That's my blessing. Yeah, classic. I was pretty star-studded. Hey, the crowd, even the performers. Well, they have Most Def and Common. It was pretty sick to watch.
It would have been an amazing ceremony.
Had his mum there too, which surely would have been a bit awkward, but some of the stuff he says, but she'd be used to it by now for sure.
Did you check out anything else over the last week?
Yeah, it's not on Netflix, but a little show called Servant popped up on Apple's streaming service. Far out, man! It was incredible. It was there was just one season.
Trippy show.
I think it was like 8 or 10 episodes. I smashed it out end on end. I just didn't get off my bed to watch the whole thing. It was so good. But I think it's going to be more seasons of it. But yeah, it was very interesting. Yeah, heaps creepy. So I remember watching the trailer a couple months before it came out. I was like, holy God. But I thought we saw it as a movie, man. And just when it came out, mate's like, yeah, I got all of Servant. I was like, what? So I thought it was a movie when I was watching the trailer, but it was pretty well done.
Yeah, it's definitely a show that needs to be binged too, like, because there's so much happening.
Yeah, I feel you would forget stuff if you watched it week by week.
Because, I spread it out over probably a week or two when it first dropped.
I think they were dropping just an episode a week too, I think.
Yeah, and I was pretty lost there for a little while.
Yeah, Rupert Grint, far out. He was good in it, hey? For those playing at home, Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. I was a bit skeptical of his American accent at first, hey? But he held in his own in the end. It was very solid.
Yeah, he was really good in that. Apple TV have done a great job with some of their casting on their shows.
Oh, who's the young girl in it? Nell Tiger Free. She's incredible. She nailed that role, man. I don't know if you know much about her in real life, but she's I think she was born for that creepy role.
Yeah, definitely nailed the creepy babysitter.
Yeah, I was just the first episode I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be a ride.
Have you watched the morning show on Apple TV?
I don't actually have Apple TV, man. I've only watched Servant. Is it what's that like? That's another one I need to get around.
I thought it was even better than Servant.
Yeah, right.
It's that pure like news and the whole Me Too movement. So I thought, and incredible cast as well. I love that one.
Yeah, who was in that?
Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell.
Yeah, right. Geez, they just got so much. I don't know where they get it. Well, Apple's obviously loaded, but they just got money to throw at actors, like even Netflix.
I guess when they're trying to launch a streaming service too, like
they just sell it.
Chucked money.
Yeah,
hey Oprah, we're signing you.
Yeah, like throw at the stumps really for their first one. Then it's paid off for everyone by the looks of it.
Yeah, seems so.
I'm interested to see what else Netflix come out with it, because they've been snapping up other productions too, like Uncut Gems. They bought that off like the producers, so they got an eye for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff now. Now the streaming services are established.
Yeah, I wonder how much stuff is actually Netflix like original now, or if they just bought stuff out.
Yeah, I think they're just buying stuff now. Like even The Last Dance, that was ESPN, and they've just purchased it for Australia.
Yeah. I wonder who did it back then. Like whose grand old idea it was. They obviously wouldn't be invited by Jordan, but I wonder if they knew that was going to be like the last season as well. That's why they did it. It all seems so perfect. I was surprised how it's worked out. I
was surprised they let the cameras in there and then held the footage for so long.
Yeah, I'm going to have to read into why they withheld it. Do you know much about it?
No, I'll have to look into it a bit more, but it's definitely interesting to find out why it has taken 20 years to come out.
It's crazy. But yeah, there's an interesting note, like I said earlier, about after the Warriors did that magnificent 73-9 season, so he sort of said, hang on a minute, I've got to shut everyone up here.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna run.
Let everyone get carried away.
Conspiracy that he was getting threatened by Jordan, threatened by LeBron. Sorry.
Yeah, of course you do, the bloody LeBron fan, throwing up hot takes.
Man, so that was before I watched much Jordan, so I'm sort of back down to earth now after seeing all those games he played.
Didn't get any backlash from
luckily.
people.
Although, another thing I was going to mention too, that when Scottie Pippen was out for the surgery, I think they showed that in episode 2, and they lost they started the season 0-4 or something. Then they went like 4-4, but they hadn't won a game on the road until they played the Clippers, which were like the worst team at the time, and they ended up beating them in double overtime. But see, they struggled without Pippen, which is like Jordan wasn't like. See, like LeBron, if LeBron plays, he doesn't really need anyone else around him. I feel like he can.
Yeah, like, look what he did to Cleveland.
Like he just carries a team, but then Jordan had an opportunity there to carry and just got over the line against a very ordinary team.
But like even when they showed, when it went into more about Pippen and the amount of money he was on, like he was so
right, they done him dirty, hey?
So hard with that.
I read a thing today. It was pretty interesting. Larsa Pippen, his wife / ex-wife, I think they're in the middle of a divorce. She tweeted, "Thanks for your concern. Scotty did okay." Then she's posted a screenshot of Scottie Pippen's career earnings, and it was $109 million, which ended up being $20 million more than what Jordan earned in his career for playing. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I assume that doesn't include all the money Jordan's made from Nike since.
He's a billionaire now, isn't he, from just all that? I was saying today too, Jordan is pledging everything he makes off his documentaries going to charity. So, not like he needs to quit anyway.
But yeah, like who signs a 7-year contract?
Yeah, it was criminal almost. Like everyone's like, "What are you doing,
like,
man?"
Second year.
What was it for? It was like $2.8 million or something. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was seven years for like 10 or 12 million or something.
Barry.
Like, what are you doing?
So I think at the time, Jordan was on more a season himself than what the whole team was put together a season.
It's ridiculous when you look at
it just seems like a pretty...
People are taking pay cuts just to get
what's like the veteran minimum contracts now, like $2.5 million US. It's just... But it seemed like a pretty toxic environment, eh? Like Jerry Krause and Phil Jackson didn't have the best relationship.
The dissent between front of house, boardroom, and actual playing and coaching
that's
staff.
Another thing. Like maybe this will expose like the legacy a bit and saying it was a bit tarnished. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens. Well, I haven't read too much into it, like the history of that Bulls team. Like I know as much as everyone else does, just from simply being a fan of basketball. But yeah, it'd be good.
Even just how much they picked on Jordan, constantly calling him short.
Jordan just kept getting into him, didn't he?
No wonder he was annoyed at everyone and wanted to rebuild
that's what
the
I
team.
Thought too, going into this, I'm like, this is going to make me hate Jordan. Still might, but so far so good.
Yeah.
What else has been? What else you got, man?
So the Invisible Man.
Yeah, finally
finally checked that one out.
Yeah, because I remember seeing ages ago they were filming this movie in the Illawarra, like a Hollywood movie, and I was like, yeah, sick. Then it was only when the Invisible Man came out, I realised it was that. I was like, oh no way, that's sick. Yeah, they filmed it at that house in it's in Gerringong on the hill there.
Yeah, like the whole main part of it is set in San Fran, but filmed in Gerringong. Bit of a spin.
Yeah, so I haven't driven past that house yet again since watching the movie, but I'm sure I'll be starstruck when I go past it. I've always wanted to stay there. Hey, it's actually on Airbnb. Yeah, it's like $3,500 a night though.
Oh.
A few mates though, between 10 years, $350 each between 10 years. So.
Yeah, not bad. Looks like a pretty slick house too.
But yeah, good movie. Another one I wasn't really sure who I was going to end up.
I did like how it took a classic tale and sort of spun it and brought it to the modern age with.
Oh, that like, what would you call it? That invisibility get up.
Yeah, the tech.
It did get a bit sci-fi at a point there, didn't it? But I enjoyed it.
And then also like the idea of domestic abuse.
There's a lot of good messages in it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I was actually pretty surprised how I don't know, are we doing spoilers or what? Yeah,
might as well. It's been out for a
when she took the mask off and it was the brother which was trying to help her. I was pretty surprised by that. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, that was
a
massive surprise.
To be like him still alive, which he was really in the end. But yeah, it was all a bit weird.
Yeah, I liked that it wasn't like pure horror either. Like, it was just sort of really tense the whole time.
Yeah, it wasn't scary at all.
It had like one or two jump moments, like when she was in the
that was probably the I was a bit on edge there.
But that was the one jump scare, and then the rest was just tense the whole time.
Yeah, it was cool how they did it. I really enjoyed it, but I thought maybe could have went a bit longer after she slit his throat at the kitchen table there. I thought it would be cool to find out what happens, like what the repercussions there were. It was already pretty long. It was a pretty long movie. I guess they leave that stage.
They left it sort of open there as well, like because she does take the suit with her. Because I think it's meant to tie into...
Yeah, what do you reckon? Sequel vibes? Because she's taking the suit with her? Bit of a revenge?
I think it's meant to tie into a Universal or a Sony property that they have coming up where it has, like, the Invisible Man and a couple of other sort of monster thriller type characters.
What's his name? Off Split and Glass? Like that sort of vibe?
Yeah, so I think it's meant to be something similar to that.
Like a bootleg Avengers or something. But heaps better. Just
like bad guys and...
Yeah, I'll be all about that. So have you actually read into it and seen something about it, have you?
Yeah, I read somewhere about it. I can't remember what the other characters are, but it's the Invisible Man and like I think like maybe like a werewolf or something and Frankenstein. Yeah. I think it's all of those classic horror monster things.
Speaking of Frankenstein, there's a little I think it's 3-part miniseries on Netflix called Dracula. I don't know if you've seen it. Did you watch it?
Yes.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I just chucked it on. It was actually pretty cool, eh? I thought it was going to be like heaps scary, but it was almost a bit corny, but I enjoyed it, man. It was like a good take on the classic Dracula story.
I love the first 2 episodes, and then the third episode just
it got out of hand, pretty quick. I think they just had a bit too much creative control and the imagination just flowed.
Understood why they were trying to bring it to the modern age, but it just didn't work once it got to the modern
my head was like spinning when I got to that. I was like just trying to think, piece it all together, like how has this happened? It was really cool. It was like an interesting take on the classic story. I liked it, man. Good. Yeah, I hadn't heard a single thing about it, but I just randomly stumbled across it. And I was like, oh, what's this? Yeah, it was good. Good idea.
Yeah, not a bad find. And then today I got sent Parkway Drive's Viva The Underdogs a couple of days early. What
was their last one they did? They filmed like a tour. It would have been like 2013, 2012. I got it on DVD, actually. It was very interesting. I love that sort of stuff, eh?
Yeah, it's so well produced. Like this had proper, like full theatrical,
just like their live shows.
Man.
I was actually very disappointed this whole thing happened because they were playing a massive show in Sydney at like Kudos, which is probably going to be their biggest show yet. Like June it was meant to be. I can never see Parkway enough times.
Yeah, this definitely not. This doco sort of follows them 2019 tour season where they were doing all the Europe.
They're so big in Europe,
big festivals leading up. Yeah, so leading up to Wacken Open Air in 2019 in Germany as their sort of biggest headline show ever. Holy cow,
some of the footage on this other old doco I've got, it's just insane at these like random European festivals. Like you think like we've got all big festivals or like about like your Glastonbury's, your Coachella and that, but then there's these festivals you've never heard of in like rural Europe. It's just insane, bro. And like bands like Parkway or Amity Affliction, they're just huge out there.
I've never seen such a big crowd for a music festival. This thing was massive.
Where was that, in Germany?
Like, you know how like our festivals have 2 or 3 extra rows of speakers further out in the crowd? These had like 5 or 6. Like it just went back.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty keen. So you said you've seen it, Saba?
Yeah, I watched it this afternoon. I loved it. It showed that drama that leads up to a big festival like that where they've got all this pressure to make sure the show's perfect.
Winston's a bit of a...
But then they do it...
too, I'll rate him. I'm a strong believer he should
be... They all are, really.
Strain of the year every year. He's just a madman. I love him.
Yeah, and it also did a great job of showing just the friendship and family bond.
They all went to school together and like Byron, like primary school and high school and just surf together every day. They're a little tight-knit family. I love that they've just stuck to it too.
Everyone that's around them...
Very humble dudes.
Half the guys that work for them are their mates as well.
How big they are.
They got to take their mums on stage with them, which was a pretty special moment to see in film, especially at a festival like that.
It was actually pretty dramatic too, that the previous documentary, the one I got on DVD, Luke, the guitarist, actually broke his leg surfing like freaking. I was like a couple of days before I meant to go off to Europe to like this massive tour and like start filming. So it made it pretty interesting. He was like played in a wheelchair at every gig, and they sort of like redid the production around his wheelchair and had some pretty cool props on stage. So yeah, they're mad. I love them.
Well, that's funny because that ties into this one too. Because Jaya breaks his knee like 3 or 4 days before Wacken Festival, so he's stuck in a wheelchair for that festival with his mum.
Yeah, I love how they can just go do stuff like that, and then they come back and. Did you go to that gig at Uni Bar? Like, we were doing it 2 or 3 years ago. I was in the hall. Like, that was just insanity.
No, I haven't, but all their shows are always pretty wild.
Like, after playing, like, sold-out European tours. I love it.
The amount of production that they put into this festival slot, too.
Yeah, it's like...
No wonder they're so big. Like,
so what's the documentary focus on? Just that one festival?
Yeah, so it starts... I think it's like 193 days.
Oh, so it just like plans a festival gig around that.
And then it's them, doing rehearsals and then doing sort of smaller gigs and smaller festivals leading up to it. And then it just culminates in this big festival. Yeah,
definitely going to have to check that out this weekend. I've got a few days off, so I just got time to burn.
Yeah, so it's drops on Thursday on all the, like, on demand, so Apple, Amazon.
Yeah,
so, it's like pay-as-you-go ones. Definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of Parkway.
You don't even have to be
the metal genre.
Like I know people who have no idea about basketball watching this Jordan doco, which is like pretty cool to see. I think everyone's just friggin' bored and have watched everything else, so they're just jumping on the wagon. But hopefully it brings a few new fans over to the game.
Yeah, this Parkway one's special too. At this time.
It's different, eh? Yeah, just speaking of music documentaries, I finally watched that Travis Scott one. I don't know why I never watched it. Like, it's been out for ages, but far out. That was incredible. The production on that was insane. Have you seen it? No, you haven't seen it.
I've got it on my list. I haven't watched it yet. It's the same as you. I put it on as soon as it came out.
One of them things I know I just never got around to watching. I just get distracted on YouTube, I guess. But yeah, I was very glad I watched it. It was insane.
What does it cover? Like,
well, it sort of starts out like the start of his career and follows him through. So it shows like a heap of old footage. Then I think it's mainly when he's recording his most recent album, which was Astro World. I think it follows the Astro World album. Then it follows him through like that Grammy run, and it's just it's not really focused on one thing, but it's just a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of stuff with his family, and it's good. It's a good ride. But it's very well shot. Like, some of his live shows are just insane, man.
Yeah. There's music docos at this time, like when people can't do anything. So definitely worth
I might actually fire up a few older DVDs. I've got an Emity doco too, which is like a similar vibe to the Parkway one. Be good. They're just stuff like that, eh?
Well, nice.
It's the best we're going to get for a while.
Yeah, the only other sort of thing I've been watching, I watched another doco, the WWE's 24 series on Edge, because he had his neck injury, was out, forced to retire way too young. Originally, they came to see him to do a documentary on what is life after wrestling like. And then during this whole process, he starts to realize, wait a second, maybe my neck's not as bad as originally thought. He goes to see a heap of doctors and they clear him to wrestle again. So it follows him in the lead up to the return at the Royal Rumble earlier this year.
Worth a watch for a non-wrestling fan.
Really touching, definitely. Like, it's super emotional, really touching just to see him and his wife and some of his like closest friends who thought his career was over.
The doco. Oh, yeah.
WWE. Yeah, so they just, because they've got their own network now, they're just making original content, and this was just meant to be a documentary on what is life after wrestling, because he's doing acting and stuff as well.
Turn halfway through to it with the doctor giving him approval.
Yeah. As soon as he got approved, it was like, oh.
So when was all this done? Yeah, right.
Would have been late last year.
I've only just seen what's been popping up on my feed, but WWE have been putting heaps of people off, eh? Like heaps of wrestlers off the card. This week was not good. Because weren't they doing cut a lot of people without crowds and stuff? Well, it seemed to be going okay, but obviously that didn't go to plan. Like, it wouldn't be the same, would it? Like, crowds are half the
so they're still doing the shows without. Just to see Edge getting back in the ring, and because he wanted to keep it so secret, he trained with his wife, who's a former wrestler as well. So it was just cool to see that, and then them sort of getting nervous every time he did something.
Yeah, I mean, it's they probably follow like football players the same life. Like, they just get beat around, and life after football, life after wrestling is just pretty delicate.
Yeah, especially with the neck injury.
Johns, he had to retire because of his neck. But yeah, especially with wrestling, like, it doesn't take much to go wrong.
Yeah, like Edge even was not telling his wife certain things before they happened. So he was like, I'm just going to do a promo on this episode.
Pretty secret.
And then he'd do something physical and had to come back and be like,
who's his wife? Oh, right, yeah.
Beth Phoenix. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it for sure.
That's one to watch if you.
Yeah, I watched a couple of. I watched The Wrestler. That was an incredible movie. That was actually that was pretty emotional.
A great movie.
Yeah, I watched it a while ago. Who did that? Who produced that? It was directed it. It was something pretty big, man.
Oh, I said it last week and I can't remember now.
Oh, it's Darren Aronofsky.
It's got Mickey Rooney in it, and
I love him.
Aronofsky.
Yeah, Black Swan's one of my favourite movies. Love that, bro. And Mother, he does Mother as well. Yeah, he's incredible for a young dude. Actually, another wrestling movie I watched. I'm a big Shia LaBeouf fan. He the Peanut Butter Jelly Falcon. Have you seen it?
Yep.
It was so good. Yeah, it was.
That's a cool movie.
Pretty much adopts this runaway kid with Down syndrome. He just wants to be a wrestler. Just takes him under his wing. It's very good. I love him. Shia LaBeouf's a man. Very wholesome, man.
That's a cool sort of kid-friendly. Yeah, such a cool kid-friendly wrestling movie. That one. Anything else that you wanted to chat about?
I don't know. I've finally watched Tiger King. Well, I feel like that's just everyone's sick of hearing about it. I finally watched it, but it was very good. But I feel like it's going to be like Tiger Who after all this Jordan stuff's finished. Like, it was a good.
Yeah, it was a good lead up to this.
Yeah, it's game time now with this Jordan guy.
Yeah. The one big question though, did Carol Baskin?
Did you watch? No, we'll just quickly talk about it. Did you watch that follow-up one where they interviewed everyone? Yeah, that was a bit weird. I feel like it just like took the piss out of the whole 8 episodes before it. Like, it just made it feel a bit like a bit of a joke.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary. It was more a cash in on the buzz that had come from Jeff the first
Lowe guy. He actually seemed half all right in the real life version. Like, afterwards, they painted him as a massive bad guy in the original.
Yeah, he didn't seem too bad in that last episode.
I think they're still building that zoo. So once that opens up and this is the world's back to normal, that's going to be booming. Pretty wild stuff.
Busy place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I checked out the Innocence Files, but I
haven't really delved into that. I keep seeing it pop up, but every time I go to watch something new, I just keep.
It's not bad if you like. Yeah, so the Innocence Files isn't bad if you like true crime.
I've been reading a heap of true crime books lately, man. I'm obsessed with Sydney's criminal history. Hey, just so much happening, like all the way back to the 30s. This corruption in the police force and the underworld getting involved is just madness. I'm loving it.
Yeah, this Innocence Files though I don't think it serves very well.
Well, you got to just take it all in.
Yeah, and like I think it's roughly 2 episodes per sort of case, so it's worth sort of just watching those 2 episodes and then stopping and letting it process. I tried to watch 3 or 4 at a time, and
for sure,
it's a bit too much to take in. But yeah, if you just watch each case as a standalone piece, I think it'd be
I'm definitely
a better show to enjoy.
I just need something to do instead of wasting all my time on YouTube when I've got to spare 2 hours. But far out, man, between now and Monday, I might even watch some old Jordan games. I've got a few days off this weekend. I've been watching a heap of old Lakey games lately, which I love. But yeah, might even watch some old Jordan games. Yeah, I hope it sort of delves into more opposition too. Like, it follows like maybe a Celtics rivalry story or a Lakers rivalry story, like that as well would be good. And they like interview some like more opponents. I said like Larry Bird got a bit of a start. I don't know, not too many other players did, eh?
Yeah, Magic Johnson was there for a little bit.
It would be good if they sort of delve into that, but I got no idea where it's going to end up, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just super keen to see more episodes. Okay, so just before we give our top picks of the week, though, we'll just hear some words from our sponsors.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Are you ready to become part of the PS universe? Well, all you gotta do is tune in, turn on, and drop out as you listen to PS You Got This with your hosts, JD, Cassius Clay, and the Reverend Friday. We see the world through different eyes and opinions, and we share with everyone bi-weekly. Are you ready to get your sides tickled? Find us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, and many other platforms. There's a place for everyone in the PS universe. Until then, we want everyone to be good, if not, be good at it. Much love. See y'all on the other side.
Okay, so what's your top pick of the week?
I'll give you a recommendation. I watched this movie on Netflix, a Netflix original called Uncorked. I'm heaps into wine, so I really enjoyed it, but I feel as though anyone else would. It's just this movie about this young black guy growing up in Memphis, and he wants to be a master sommelier, but he sort of works at his parents' like deli or barbecue like shop, and his dad really wants him to take over the business. It's been like in the family for generations, and he sort of steers away from that path and trains to become a master sommelier, and like goes off to France and whatnot. And it's just really interesting. And Hit Boy, Hit Boy, the hip hop producer.
Yep.
He does the soundtrack for it, so it's got a heap of good music in it, man. Like Yo Gotti and like stuff like that. So it's really, really enjoyable, like to attract a young crowd. So Uncorked, highly recommend. It's a Netflix original. I think it's actually, I noticed, is in creeped up to like top 5 and Netflix most popular, like, trending.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I hadn't.
It's pretty random, but it was a good movie.
All right, I'll have to check that
one
out.
Yeah, you
back on again.
That Edge documentary.
Yeah, so after this afternoon, I'm really torn now. I'm tossing up between the Edge doco.
Stuff it, mate. Recommend too. Everyone's got spare time. Why not?
Yeah.
I think that's my
definitely
go-to
a documentary
this
week,
sure.
I think.
Parkway.
Check out either of those. Yeah, Parkway just this afternoon blew me away. Like, wasn't expecting to get it, and then when I got it early, I was like, got to jump on this right away.
You sold me.
Awesome. Okay, and then just before we close out our episode, we're doing something pretty exciting this week, or next week actually. We're going to be giving away the Bad Boys for Life DVD. Going to also review it next week, so stick around for that one. And all you have to do to enter is head to our social media channels at Jamie Apps Media and share the post for today's episode. And then next week, Buddy and I are going to select the winner on the episode. Get around it. Okay, so thank you for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes because it really helps us grow. And you can follow me on social media at Jamie Apps Media, and you can follow Blake over on Twitter at Captain Crumbs with a Z. The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine Jam Zine over on Patreon at patreon.com/Jamie Apps Media. The following people supported at the Jam publisher level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are of their support. Brian and June Hart, Caitlin Fitzgerald, Courtney Paulson, Tracy Apps.